here's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. It's the marquee game of opening weekend, and off we go on a Sunday night on EA Sports. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Running right, here's Sanders. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Sanders. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Mon now off of play action. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Good job there getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Mon. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Mon's throw complete there to Smith. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Miles Sanders. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are on the board here first in the season opener. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. This forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And some room to roam now. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. 74 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. First and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Amir Smith-Marset now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Third down from the gun, it's Mond. And that is incomplete.
Well, they got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded at about the 28. Touchdown, Detroit! A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Lions have taken the lead. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Mon going to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Reagor, 85 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Rosas good with the extra point, and we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season, and they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. He's going to wind up and air it out. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. On first down, here's Mon. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. So he stopped for no gain. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And this is incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Mon. Open here, Adam Thielen. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 83 yards rushing for him in his first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
3rd and long always tilts to the defense. And I just remember as a player how many times it was hammered into my head. Know where the sticks are and get him down in front of it. But sometimes what happens is you worry about where that is much more than the person who has
nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Miles Jack with a sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mond. Smith catches left side. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And
it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, 27 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. PAT up and good by Rosas. And we are tied here in the second quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll set up a throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020?
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Lions have broken our tie as they take the lead. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. From the end zone is Smith-Marset. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Mond's throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little.
Under pressure is Mond, and he'll go down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Mond looks to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And it thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into...
that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll keep it on the ground again here. Sanders, a first down, still going. And he will finally be wrestled down at the Lions' 17-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, there were 3 talking points at the half, partner. All of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Another completion there, and you think about the draft back in the spring. He's selected in the 1st round, getting the start here, as we mentioned, in week 1. It's got to be quite a whirlwind for a young quarterback.
Absolutely, because going in the 1st round, people are going to clamor for you to be the starter right away, but many teams want you to get your feet wet first, maybe just kind of hang out behind a veteran starter. In this case, though, he ascended right to the top role, and I know he's excited about the opportunity.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And in for the Lions touchdown. A great play there. Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
2nd down and 7. Here's Mond.
He's got Smith here. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there for Minnesota.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like 2 excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now back to throw.
And, oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot.
And now the rookie's free. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Lions are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From the end zone is Smith-Marset. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
2nd down, back to Sanders.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
118 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Mond out of the shotgun.
Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Julian Okwara
able to drop him for a loss of a couple. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. He'll look to throw. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12. They're going to look to throw. That is caught by Thielen. Touchdown. Adam Thielen, 59 yards.
And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Rosas good with the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. This game was really a tussle, seemed like just a moment ago, and now they've got the momentum. A couple of scores on their last pair of drives, and and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Off the play fake, Mond.
And he rifles one incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run with Sanders. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They go play action here. Mond. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Mond. They're going for it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? The advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, were they about 95% chance of winning it?
I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
Yeah, and knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A nice throw there. We've seen a lot of those from this young man. And how would you assess, Charles, his first start thus far?
I think it's been everything that they could have asked for because he's handled all the basic things quite well. And even some of the wrinkles that have been thrown at him, he's shown a lot of poise throughout and made some nice plays.
Deshaun Elliott up to make the play defensively. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Dalvin Tomlinson, his 2nd sack of the night.
Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Back to throw here.
Under pressure is Mond, and he'll go down.
They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Back to throw.
They're going for Jefferson downfield.
And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. A big play there for Minnesota. Long developing route there on the post corner, but it was worth the wait.
It certainly was. I love the way you described it because you do have to sell the post. Usually a couple of steps towards the middle of the field in order to get the defender to turn his hips. And then he breaks off towards the corner, and off he goes. Well executed.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
He'll drop to throw. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now if they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. Touchdown, Vikings. Miles Sanders, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 119 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in.